Coming up now on Animal Outtakes, 'tis the season. We're celebrating the Howl-a-Days here at Donte's Den Foundation. And a Christmas miracle. One of our favorite feathered friends is lucky to be alive. Hear what happened to sweet Abby and what to look out for as a pet owner. This and much more straight ahead on Animal Outtakes. The holidays are a time to give thanks and show appreciation for the blessing in life. A moment to appreciate the little things that really bring us joy. For me, it's this place, Donte's Den Foundation. And as a little girl, I was truly inspired by my first stuffed animal, something that brought me great comfort and hope. I was always interested in animals and how they can impact us as humans. And I knew I wanted to make a difference in the lives of animals. And for me, dogs were it. From Donte's Den Foundation came the concept of a TV show called Animal Outtakes, a way for me to spread my message about this wonderful foundation here in Myakka, and a way to bring you stories that need to be heard. This show has given us a chance to showcase some unique and interesting animals and tell their story. We also focus on the devoted people who have dedicated their lives to making amends with the abused and injured animals in our community. So many nonprofit foundations and even young people doing what they can to make a difference. Over these 9 seasons, we've met some incredibly caring people who aren't in it for the attention. Many hesitant to be on camera, but we hope by sharing their stories, others will care and make efforts to do what they can to make animals a priority. This show is made possible because of Donte's Den Foundation, a nonprofit started more than 10 years ago. Dogs have always brought joy to my life, and I wanted to provide them with a safe haven. Donte's Den began as an idea my husband Don and I had. We weren't quite sure what we wanted to do with it. We wanted it to be a rescue, but we wanted it to be so much more. But Don became ill and passed away. So unfortunately, he didn't get to see this. But I'm living this for the both of us, every day here at Donte's Den. Donte's Den is many things. Our programs cover a wide range of services for dogs who for one reason or another can no longer live at home. It's a sanctuary for dogs who may never be able to go home. And it's also a place for military personnel and first responders to board their forever friends in time of need. It's an option for wellness for those in the community. And Donte's is a home for many dogs who were on the path to an early demise. Let us introduce you to a few of these beloved canines.
I entered this world very quietly. In fact, I soon realized that I didn't hear anything. My brothers would bark, my owners would talk, but I didn't know what they were saying. I soon realized that I was deaf. I didn't even hear my own bark. I watched people's faces to get clues as to what I should do, but it was confusing. People's facial expressions were all I was able to watch. I really tried very hard to understand what I could. My owner and my brother disappeared. Then I was put into this car by my owner and taken to this great place that had a swimming pool. When I was swimming in the pool, I became scared. But soon, there were a lot of smiling faces, a lot of talking, but I still couldn't hear. Then this kind man started not only to talk to me, but show me hand signals and teach me to do simple commands. I began to feel safe and understand what he wanted from me. Now I can sit, lay down, stay, and stand on 2 legs. I am blessed.
They told me I was in a special cage. I watched all my other friends go to this room at the end of the hall, but they never came out. The human kept shouting loud words like death row and euthanasia. I didn't understand it, I figured it wasn't too good. Then one day, this young girl came and took me away. She was very kind and loving and hugged me and made me feel special. After a few months, she told me she had to go away for a few years, but she found a wonderful, safe place for me to go. And she told me they would take care of all my many medical problems. I had heartworm, bad allergies, small tumors, and infected ears. She told me she would visit me, but she never came. I have been at Donte's den for 3 years, and she hasn't come home for me. I miss her, but I do get a lot of attention from a lot of people. Someone told me that my mom was hurt and in the hospital. You see, she is a Marine recruit. I was told I don't know if I will ever see her again. But Donte's den will take care of me forever.
My name is Moose, and I'm so happy to be at Donte's den because they love me and take care of me. You see, my first owner had me for 3 years, and then I became sick. I was diagnosed with diabetes and required a lot of insulin. The insulin became very expensive, so expensive that my owner could not afford it, so he moved away and left me alone. I ran out of water and food. Someone called Animal Services, and I ended up with no insulin and put in a very small cage. I was adopted, and the new owner recognized I was sick and took me to a vet. Once again, they said I had raging diabetes and put me on insulin. I looked horrible because my weight went from 136 pounds to 88 pounds. I kept hearing people say I wasn't going to make it, but I wasn't ready to go. And that's when someone called Donte's Den, and they came and got me. A lot of people started loving on me, and it felt so good to be hugged. But it's been a long road. My diabetes caused other problems for me. My right eye is dead, and I end up in ketoacidosis often. But thankfully, each time Donte's medical staff pull me through. I feel so lucky. Donte's Den saved me, and despite my illness, I am living a good life.
We are now offering lifetime care for cats. Now, this is not a new concept for us here at Donte's Den. We've been asked for the entire time that we've been open, would you please take cats? Why don't you take cats? And of course, many dogs have grown up with cats, and it's really not fair to them that they get separated in their later life if they do come to Donte's Den. So we made an opportunity for the cats to come to Donte's Den, and without exaggeration, they are coming in droves. And we are going to dedicate certain amount of dens to the cats. But for the future, we hope to have an entire building of cat dens. We also have a training program called Dogevity.
Dogevity is not just a training program, we are actually a way of life, right? So with Dogevity, not one size fits all. So we have 5 different programs under Dogevity's umbrella. We have our Spa 001 program, which is for the dogs, doggy daycare style with the swimming pool and the fountains, they get to play. We have OBD, which is Obedience 101. That is your leash trained dog. So we get them to sit, down, stay, and come all on the leash. Then we have Obedience 102, which is advanced obedience off leash and hand signals. Then we have our agility program for dogs that have already completed OBD 101 and OBD 102, then they can graduate into our agility program. Then our our special program that everybody's got to meet Kamali on and Vincent on is our enhanced behavior modification program, where we can get dogs that were aggressive and a little unruly to get them back to being a phenomenal family dog to be around people and children again. We open our doors up for everyone. It's phenomenal, and just to listen to the people talk about the success of Dogevity and how their dogs are back integrated into the family is just an awesome feeling.
And now we'd like to introduce you to some of our special friends here at the dens, both human and canine.
I'm Tyler, I'm one of the trainers at Donte's, and this is Rebel. So when Rebel first came here, he was really, to be honest, scared of everybody. He didn't really trust anybody at that point. Over time, mostly Sean has come in and really transformed him into a way that's actually really nice. He still has some trust issues, of course, based on his past mostly, But over time, he's actually done a fantastic job. And I think it's really, when you look at it, it's the transformation that he's gone through. He went from being, this dog scared of everybody, growling whenever you got close to the door and things like that, to being a loving, friendly dog. And the real thing is, would just be finding a really nice owner for him that's willing to really work with him and see the transformation that he's gone through and understand that he has had a troubled past and that it would take a lot of time for him to really fully trust someone.
Coming up next on Animal Outtakes, a Christmas miracle of sorts. How one of our favorite guests on Animal Outtakes almost died from a common clip often found hanging in bird cages. We talk with a Suncoast veterinarian on how you can prevent this from happening to your bird. That's next. Welcome back. It's a story with a happy ending. Earlier in the season, we introduced you to a spirited black palm cockatoo named Abby. This bird gave us all a laugh while interviewing for segments on the Birds of Paradise Sanctuary. But recently, Abby's mischievous nature got her into a little trouble, and then her life was on the line. Lucky for her, owner Debbie Huckabee knew what to do and exactly who to go to for help.
I was frantic. I thought we were going to lose her. Mischievous little Abby chewed on a quick link that is used to hang her toy in her cage. She broke it and ingested pieces of it, which led to zinc poison. And zinc poison is very critical in birds, as is lead poison, because it actually goes through their bones. I noticed a few days before that she was slowing down, she didn't have an appetite, and she wasn't talking, and just wasn't the normal Abby. So I was looking in the bottom of her cage and I found the broken quick link, and I found pieces that she didn't ingest. So I scooped it up, and I called Dr. Bonda. I told him what was going on, and he said, "You need to get her here or we're gonna lose her." Because her cheeks were already pale, her tongue was pale, so it was imperative that we start chelation therapy that night to get it out of her system. And if they're started in time, then we can save organ damage. But a lot of birds get treated too late and they're already having seizures, and then you have to deal with organ damage for the rest of their life.
This is Abby's x-ray radiograph, and she's laying on her side, physically or manually restrained. So I'm holding her, and this is her whole body. That happens to be her microchip, that's her heart, and then this bright white material is metallic density, brighter than her bone, and that's always abnormal. So that would be suspicious for a metal toxicity. One thing is that certain birds, like the palm cockatoo, are very sensitive when they become ill. One of the reasons why they're not very common. They're a more difficult bird to keep in captivity. Their nutritional requirements are more specific, and they're not a very hardy bird, whereas other parrots are a little bit hardier, so can tolerate the illness a little bit better and tolerate the treatment a little bit better. But Abby was quite ill, and it required, after obtaining x-rays and blood work for blood sampling, it required about 9 different medications, including, which is not often needed for most sick parrots, but Abby was so anemic, she required a blood transfusion from another bird, and even synthetic plasma, which is a protein fluid to keep her fluid balance up, because she was not eating and losing body weight and protein and muscle mass. So that it was quite intense.
This is extremely critical for these birds, right?
Correct.
And I have to ask, because I asked the same question of Debbie, when we know this, why are there manufacturers that are selling this type of toy that could obviously kill the bird?
Sure. Well, most of our metals are toxic to birds. And most birds generally don't chew the metals unless they happen to be a parrot, because parrots' beaks are designed to chew and destroy things. And unfortunately, there are some common metals that are in common toys because they're inexpensive to produce, and the situation arises. There's only a few metals that are not toxic, stainless steel, wrought iron, and they happen to be very expensive, and very few toys are made out of those types of metals. Sure. So unfortunately, some common metals, but they're not just in metal toys. There's lead and zinc and many other items that birds encounter. And so as a bird owner, most bird owners have to be, just like having children, make your house children-proof. You have to make your house, as well as their environment, their cage, bird-proof to avoid them ingesting the toxic material.
So we need to be very vigilant, check those toys.
Absolutely.
Obviously the back of the package to
That's
see
correct.
what they're made of. Looks like she's made a total recovery.
She has.
She's got many, many years ahead of her if you don't chew.
That's what we're supposed to do, Marcia. We're supposed to chew. I just chewed the wrong thing.
Just chewed the wrong thing, right?
Isn't that right? Oh,
well, she is as magnificent as she was when we first saw her. And we're so sorry you went through all of that, but we're so glad you pulled through.
Well, I think Dr. Bonda saved both of our lives. He talked me down from a panic attack. He saved her life. There's no doubt about it. We could never repay his kindness, his knowledge. I've never been around a vet that takes more time to explain things to me, so if something should happen in the future, I know what I'm looking at. I wish everyone could have a relationship like that with their vet that understands.
Now here are some tips that might help your four-legged friends stay safe this holiday season. The holidays just wouldn't be the same without a Christmas tree, but whether it's real or fake, it can be dangerous. Keeping those decorations and light strands off the lower branches can help limit any temptation from your pet to bite or play with them. If it's a real tree, watch those pine needles. If ingested, they can cause blockage or puncture the intestines. Oils produced by fir trees can cause problems like vomiting and skin irritations as well. And now, the big one, food. There's a ton of it this time of year, especially all those chocolates and cookies. Don't give in to those sad eyes. You are not being a Grinch. Certain foods can cause big problems for your pet. Some can be deadly. Chocolate can give your dog upset tummy or even seizures. Grapes and raisins can lead to kidney failure. And any of the scraps of meat you might end up with, avoid giving them to your dog. This time of year, many vets see more dogs come in with pancreatitis. The cause? Fatty meats. So the best advice to keep your pet healthy? Stick to their normal diet. Plants. Here are some to watch out for. Poinsettias, lilies, daffodils, amaryllis, holly, mistletoe, and rosemary. Yes, they can be beautiful and really add to the holiday cheer. But if you're going to have them around, keep them away from your pets. Pay close attention, and you and your pet will be sure to have a doggone happy holiday.
My name is Courtney Barini. I'm the manager here at Donte's Den. I've been here about 3.5 years. And seeing dogs like Joey and how, he was up for adoption and nobody wanted him. So we're making him, we're keeping him happy. We're making him have love, happy life. Joey is one of my favorites because he is our oldest here at Donte's Den, but he is also the happiest at Donte's Den. Joey suffers from arthritis and cataracts, what most older dogs suffer from, but he doesn't let him get you down, do you? No. He's also our front office concierge. He greets everybody when they walk in the door, don't you?
Stick around, there's much more Animal Outtakes after the break.
This is Charlotte. Charlotte is a 6-year-old Doberman Hound mix. Charlotte's a little lovable. She just wants to be held. She wants to be a part of your inner circle. She wants to be on your lap. She wants to watch TV with you. She is just a cuddler and a hugger. As you can see, all she wants to do is play. So for me, I just like getting her out. When I'm having a rough day, I'll call Charlotte out. We'll sit down and she'll come over and give me the love I need. And it's awesome having her here around the holidays. But you know, it'd be even better, her to spend the next holidays with somebody out there. She's a great little girl, and she'd be a great opportunity for your household. Oh, girl.
'Tis the season of giving back and helping those that are less fortunate, whether they be humans or animals. Here at Donte's Den, the spirit of the season continues year-round with the care we provide to Donte's dogs. And just like Santa Paws can't do it all himself, neither can we. We are lucky to have the overwhelming love and generosity of our community. And this year is no different. Hundreds came out to support Donte's Den for our annual fundraisers. 2 unforgettable events this year. Dogs and owners alike strutted their stuff to see who would be crowned top dog. Awards were given for the best kisser and best dressed. Psychic Michael Bodine gave insight to audience members and predicted Donte's Den Foundation has a bright outlook for the future. All money raised for Top Dog goes directly to Donte's Den and towards continuing the care.
This is Sander. What's up, buddy? He's a German Shepherd. He come in not too long ago. He's a sweet old boy. He came in here as a surrender and a claim, to be, a buyer, this and that. But like anything, you build trust and, come along far with, gaining that. And he turned out to be, it's one of the sweet, I love them all, don't get me wrong. They're all great, but it's just something about him, being looked at like, oh, scared of, nah, he's like just a big old teddy bear, But I love him. He's good spirited. He brings the good out in your heart, so.
This is our beautiful Sunny. Sunny is 9 years old. She's a blue-nosed pit. And originally she was surrendered because she was rescued. She was rescued by her wonderful mom, Linda. And Linda said, I only know one place that will take care of the pits. And it's us. It's Donte's Den. And so about 4 years ago, Sunny came to live with us. And she was put up for adoption because her mom thought, well, maybe that was the way to go. But unfortunately, nobody wanted this very, very sweet girl. So her mom said, okay, she's going on lifetime care. Sunny, about 2 years ago, showed up very, very ill. Her back end started to dip. She could not walk on her back legs. She stopped eating, and we knew that we had to do something very, very quickly. Many tests, many x-rays, and then it was revealed. She has myasthenia gravis. Now this is somewhat rare in dogs, but they do suffer from them. And so every month she gets a compounded drug, and she gets some other drugs, and look at her. She just is as healthy as can be with the help of medication. She is a great representative of our lifetime care program. She is happy. She gives us joy every day. That's our dear Sunny. As always, we hope you had fun and learned a thing or two along the way. And we'll be back here again next year with even more animals and some wild adventures. Until then, happy holidays from all of us, and thanks for watching.
Happy holidays from Donte's Den.